Why Jey Uso forgave Jimmy Uso explained. The WWE's plans for the Motor City Machine Guns as WWE Tag Team Champions, Samantha Irvin reveals. She never liked announcing in the WWE. The WWE gave up on Omos. The WWE continues an unpopular tradition every year. Dominic Mysterio involved in a major title. Bo Dallas finally opens up about his Uncle Howdy persona. Did Carlito break WWE rules? Let's dive right in. The WWE's plans for the Motor City Machine Guns as WWE Tag Team Champions. WWE Friday Night Smackdown aired last night on the USA Network, and it was a big show. Going into the event, DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns was supposed to be the main event. In the end, that wasn't the last bout. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin took on and defeated DIY in an excellent tag team match. Shortly thereafter, the Bloodline showed up and challenged the Motor City Machine Guns then and there. Despite Nick Aldis's reservations, Shelley and Sabin accepted. As expected, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu tried to interfere, and the Bloodline even attempted to use a chair. Ultimately, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and to the surprise of many, Jey Uso, helped Chris and Alex out. From there, 1995 defeated the Bloodline to win the gold. Now that there are new champions on the blue brand, what will be their direction? Let's take a look at a handful of paths the two could go down in the coming weeks and months. Number 1, the Bloodline could seek revenge and a full-fledged feud begins. The Bloodline has two groups battling it out at the moment. Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and now, seemingly Jey Uso, are part of the OG Bloodline, the original version of the stable. They're battling Solo Sikoa's version of the group. Solo's version of the WWE faction features himself, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. It was Tama and Fatu who first won the WWE Tag Team titles, but Solo ordered Loa to take the belt from Fatu, so Jacob could be Sikoa's personal enforcer. Sikoa's version of the Bloodline just won't take a loss lying down. They will be back and coming for the tag team gold again, which is bad news for Shelley and Sabin. The Bloodline want revenge, and they might brutalize the new champions as a result. Number 2, the Street Profits could challenge the new WWE Tag Team Champions. The Street Profits are one of the best tag teams in modern WWE history. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford have managed to hold tag team gold on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even Evolve when the indie was still active. Recently, Ford and Dawkins have had trouble winning gold. In fact, it has been several years since the two have been tag team champions in WWE. Now with the Motor City Machine Guns winning the belts, that could change. The Street Profits could challenge Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin for the coveted tag team belts. This would be a dream match and a dream feud for many, as they are both highly athletic and entertaining tandems who will truly deliver something special in the middle of the ring. Number 3, DIY could turn heel on the Motor City Machine Guns. DIY is another popular tag team currently on WWE SmackDown. The pair came into NXT and were put together and found instant chemistry. They went on to hold the NXT tag team titles and then broke off into the singles ranks where they won more gold. Upon joining the main roster, the pair were on opposite sides but ended up reuniting last year. Despite some ups and downs, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa went on to win the WWE Tag Team titles from A-Town Down Under earlier this year. It was DIY's goal to get the tag belts back from the Bloodline, but now they can't. This may cause Tommaso and Johnny to become bitter and turn heel on the Motor City Machine Guns, leading to a multi-match and multi-month feud that would be a delight to watch. Number 4, they could battle the Judgment Day to determine the top tag team champions. WWE Crown Jewel 2024 has introduced an interesting concept. Gunther and Cody Rhodes will clash to become the Crown Jewel champion. Additionally, Nia Jax and Liv Morgan will battle it out to become the Women's Crown Jewel champion. The concept is that both world champions from each brand will fight to determine who the top world champion really is. This concept could be used with the WWE Tag Team Champions battling the World Tag Team Champions next. Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day are the reigning World Tag Team Champions. The Irish Ace and the Prince taking on the Motor City Machine Guns could turn out to be quite special if Triple H decides to book it. Which team are the true undisputed tag team champions? Samantha Irvin reveals. She never liked announcing in the WWE. In a surprising revelation following her departure from WWE, former Raw ring announcer Samantha Irvin has made it clear that announcing was never her passion. Irvin, who joined WWE in 2021 and quickly became a fan favorite for her emotional and engaging style, shared that her time behind the microphone was only supposed to be a stepping stone to other roles within the company. The bombshell came when Irvin responded to an Instagram commenter suggesting her exit was tied to her fiancé Ricochet, who left WWE over the summer to sign with AEW. "I don't like announcing," Irvin admitted in her reply. I'm serious. Announcing was only supposed to be my way in. I wanted to manage, maybe even become general manager one day, but WWE saw no other future for me besides announcer. I love watching the action, but I don't love being an announcer. Her honest response sheds light on her personal frustrations and ambitions that extended beyond her announcing duties. Although she became a beloved figure on WWE Raw, Irvin made it clear that her real dreams lay elsewhere, hoping for opportunities to manage or take on a leadership role within the company. Opportunities that, unfortunately, never materialized. In a follow-up comment, Irvin expressed her gratitude for fans who supported her during her time in WWE, writing, "Thank you so much, I love WWE, and I'm so proud and honored I got to share all the moments with fellow fans. Much love." She also dismissed the notion that Ricochet's departure had anything to do with her decision, adding, "They wanted Rico to stay in the big leagues. I don't know why everyone is pretending like he was always in great positions at WWE." With her departure now public, Irvin's revelation opens the door to new possibilities. Whether she pursues her dream of managing talent or takes on a different role in professional wrestling, her time as a ring announcer may just be the start of a broader career in the industry. What do you think of Samantha Irvin's admission? Should WWE have explored other roles for her beyond announcing? The WWE gave up on Omos. Omos wasted no time in becoming a force to be reckoned with in WWE, thanks to his imposing stature and intense energy. Omos has some surprising supporters, and that's not really a surprise anymore for him. He has been absent for a long time, and reports suggested that WWE is giving up on Omos, but we now have an update in that regard. Omos signed with WWE in January 2019 and eventually got paired up with AJ Styles in 2020, going on to win the Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 37. Omos would compete a few times after that on television, most notably at the Royal Rumble this year. Since May 2023, the Nigerian giant Omos has barely appeared on WWE programming, with his last match being the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the Smackdown before WrestleMania 40 in April. Prior to this, he regularly worked house shows, defeating Odyssey Jones and Akira Tozawa in squash matches. Dave Meltzer reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE used these house show matches to give Omos more experience, as the company hadn't fully decided to give up on him. However, Omos has not been booked for any WWE live events since then, and it was noted that WWE had given up on him. Instead, he has turned his attention to other projects, including launching a YouTube channel. His first video featured Top 10 Summer Fragrances 2024. Regarding the report that WWE has given up on Omos, Ringside News was told by multiple sources that WWE uses him as an attraction talent, so the notion that WWE has given up on him is not true. Omos is likely content with his current role in WWE, where his stature as an attraction talent is leveraged effectively. Despite this, it remains to be seen if he will make a return to WWE television in the future. What do you think of this story regarding Omos? Do you feel WWE will have him back on television eventually? The WWE continues an unpopular tradition every year. WWE has introduced a new concept for the upcoming Crown Jewel Premium Live event, and it hasn't exactly been a big hit. However, wrestling veteran Bill Apter thinks the company will likely have to continue the tradition every year. On the latest episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling Smack Talk, hosts Rick Ucchino and SP3 spoke to wrestling veteran Bill Apter about the upcoming Crown Jewel PLE. The specific focus was on the Crown Jewel Championship matches between the men and women superstars, but the conversation also took a turn. It was clear that the idea of the Crown Jewel title introduced by Triple H at Bad Blood failed to take off, and has been the subject of criticism on social media. The idea seems to be that it's a novelty championship that WWE has introduced to fulfill the needs of their partners in Saudi Arabia, who pay a lucrative fee for 2 events a year. Bill Apter believes that the people in Saudi Arabia have a lot of pride in the Crown Jewel Championship and said it's likely to become an annual tradition. "I think the people in Saudi Arabia, the people that bring WWE in, will want to do that every year. I really do. It's something that's giving them extra pride." TKO president Mark Shapiro made it clear that the goal of the sports entertainment juggernaut and its parent company is to extend the Saudi Arabia deal. On the Fightful Q&A podcast, Sean Ross Sapp was asked how long WWE has left on the deal with Saudi Arabia. It was then revealed that the deal runs for 3 more years, specifically through 2027. The terms of the deal are for 2 premium live events a year. There's likely going to be a bit of urgency made to extend the deal, as it reportedly generates a staggering $50 million per event. Dominic Mysterio involved in a major title. Dominic Mysterio is everywhere these days. Raw, SmackDown, and even premium live events. According to wrestling veteran Bill Apter, he could influence a big title change. On the latest episode of Smack Talk, hosts Rick Ucchino and SP3 discussed the upcoming WWE Crown Jewel Premium Live event. Considering how Liv Morgan is in one of the two marquee matches for the Crown Jewel Championship, Dominic Mysterio's presence is expected at ringside. He directly influenced the outcome of the Women's World Championship match earlier this year in Saudi Arabia, giving Liv Morgan her first singles title since 2022. Bill Apter stated that he expects Tiffany Stratton to cash in her Money in the Bank match at Crown Jewel, and even suggested that Dominik Mysterio could be involved in the chaos of it all. I think that somehow Tiffany Stratton is going to be there, and it's going to be the cash-in. Maybe even Dom gets a piece of this. The suggestion isn't that Dominik will help Tiffany Stratton, but that he is likely to be involved in the outcome of the match indirectly. Bo Dallas finally opens up about his Uncle Howdy persona. WWE superstar Bo Dallas has taken up the mantle of his late brother, Bray Wyatt. Recently, Dallas discussed his alter ego, Uncle Howdy, who serves as the leader of the Wyatt Six faction. The Eater of Worlds passed away in August 2023. Nearly a year later, Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, returned as Uncle Howdy, accompanied by his sinister friends, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross. During a recent interview with Headlock, the former 24/7 champion was asked if the Uncle Howdy persona was the most creative role he had ever played in his professional wrestling career. Dallas stated that the Uncle Howdy persona was indeed the most creatively satisfying role of his wrestling career. Sharing a lifelong interest in strange and mysterious things with the former WWE Universal Champion, he felt a profound connection to his late brother while embodying this eerie character. "Oh, for sure. This has always been the stuff that I've liked. And my brother, Bray Wyatt. We've always been intrigued with the odd, eerie parts of the world, scary stuff, and I never got the opportunity to do that. We kind of both went down different lanes, and now I got this chance. I always saw what Wyndham Bray Wyatt was doing, and that's the stuff that both of us like, but I was not in that. I didn't have the opportunity to do that. Now that I do, like I said, I feel like a little kid playing, and I still feel like I have my brother with me," he said. On the October 21st installment of WWE Monday Night Raw, the Wyatt Six confirmed their new target. The group has set its sights on the Final Testament. With The Miz at ringside watching, his former tag team partner R-Truth came out and helped the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods secure the win over the Authors of Pain's Akam and Rezar in a tag team match. Following the bout, Karrion Kross and his faction members laid waste to the former WWE United States champion. Rowan, Gacy, Lumis, and Kross took out the AOP, Kross, and Scarlett. Soon after, Uncle Howdy mysteriously appeared and was about to attack The Miz in the ring. However, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Ellering intervened to save the Awesome One, only to become the target himself. It will be interesting to see how the Final Testament stable counters the terror of the Uncle Howdy-led faction in the coming weeks. Did Carlito break WWE rules? The recently reported backstage heat against Carlito seemingly makes little sense to a WWE veteran. According to him, the incident itself was unreasonably blown out of proportion. Carlito was part of a segment on this week's edition of Raw, where he used the phrase, "I gotta learn Chinese," in reference to the Japanese stars Kairi Sane and Ayo Skawai. This led to a debate within the wrestling community, with many feeling that the improvised line was indeed offensive. However, Vince Russo did not seem to agree with this. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Wrestling Outlaws show, the former WWE head writer used a hypothetical situation to explain the absurdity of the incident. If I run into somebody in the WWE locker room and I start talking, and they say to me, "Oh, you're from Boston," I am supposed to be offended by that? I don't know, what are the rules here? I don't understand the rules, he said. According to Vince Russo, the Carlito incident itself is not as serious a matter as many were making it out to be. On the same episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Wrestling Outlaws show, the veteran mentioned that Carlito's line could simply be taken as a joke, and could not fathom why such a simple matter had turned into such a controversy. I'm just saying, that sounds like an internet thing. I can't imagine anybody got their feathers ruffled, because you could take it as a joke. I mean, you could take Carlito saying that to be funny, and I doubt talent would be offended, but who knows, bro? We live in a different world, Dr. Chris, so who knows, he said. Only time will tell what will come of this controversy involving Carlito, and it bears watching what is in store next for the Judgment Day star. Why Jey Uso forgave Jimmy. Uso explained. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso have finally reconciled. After having been bitter enemies for more than a year, the Samoan twins finally settled their differences to fight for a bigger cause. The goal was to pin down Solo Sikoa and his men in staking claim as the leaders of the new bloodline. While Jey was initially reluctant to come back to the fold of the bloodline, he did so when Solo and his men cost him his Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker on Raw this past week. On the latest episode of Smackdown, Jey avenged his IC title loss when he made Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa lose their WWE Tag Team Championships against the Motor City Machine Guns. Following the match, Jimmy and Jey hugged as Roman Reigns looked from the ramp. However, there were valid reasons behind Jey burying his hatchet with Jimmy Uso. Number 1. Jimmy always wanted Jey Uso back. When Jimmy returned to WWE at Bad Blood and attacked Solo Sikoa and his men, it was clear he was headed to reunite the OG bloodline. When Jey Uso showed up on Smackdown last week, Jimmy was more than interested in getting him back. Jimmy visibly looked surprised when Jey outrightly snubbed Roman Reigns at WWE backstage. He even discussed Jey's return to the group with Reigns, but the tribal chief was also cold with this idea. Jey uniting with Jimmy on SmackDown was something the latter always wanted, and that might be a reason why Jey forgave his brother. Number 2. One last run for the Usos. Another possible reason Jey Uso let go of his past with Jimmy was that he knew this would seemingly be the last time the two brothers would have a run in the bloodline. Jey is already a successful superstar in WWE and commands an enormous fan following. His stocks grew in the company when he left the bloodline last year. However, it became important for him to get back to the group to fight for the common goal of beating down Solo Sikoa and his men. Once this goal is accomplished, the Yeet Master might walk out of the bloodline. So, this being the last run for the Usos might be another reason why the Yeet Master settled with Jimmy. Number 3. For the sake of the family. Jey Uso might also have forgiven Jimmy Uso for the sake of his father, Rikishi. The WWE legend has, though not shown up in WWE, been part of the bloodline storyline. He has, however, tried to give his verdict through social media. Recently, he made a social media post with the caption, "They not the ones," implying that Solo Sikoa and his men aren't real representatives of Bloodline. It was also expected that Rikishi might show up on SmackDown this week and introduce another Bloodline member, Zilla Fatu. He would have then also wanted his sons to let go of their past to fight for a bigger goal. So Jey Uso's forgiveness of Jimmy might also have pleased Rikishi. The WWE legend has yet to give his reaction to this reconciliation. It remains to be seen when the 59-year-old WWE legend will make his comeback to be part of the Bloodline storyline.